Thank you so much, members of the press. Salim is my name. I want to thank you for turning up for this presser that is happening just immediately after the concluded NRM internal political processes that has begun today with the cell baraza, or the village baraza for that matter. The baraza also ended up in elections of the NRM chairperson and also NRM flag bearer for LC1, like it was communicated by His Excellency the President a few days ago. In Arua, I want to report that the exercise has gone nearly 98% clean. But in terms of free and fair elections, I can say it went on smoothly. With the exception of few cells that the NRM leadership, in consonance with the police, decided to call off elections in those cells across the city, but more importantly concentrated in Arua Central. A few of them are in Naivu East and West. And I want to thank the security forces led by Uganda Police Force in ensuring that no substantial damage or harm is reported up to now. I want to thank them. It is our promise we gave to the people that elections in Arua will go unfettered, elections in Arua will go uninterrupted. And this is our promise from now on. Number two, I also want, with the experience built today, to caution some members of the opposition who do not belong to the NRM that when it is time for an internal election, please desist from interfering with the other parties' internal processes. And I am particularly perturbed with my brother, the mayor of Arua Central Division, for moving from one cell to the other, trying to influence the internal processes of the NRM with ulterior motives, that in the end these people, if he influenced those who sympathize with him in NRM, they will end up voting for him. This is a big fishing expedition. But it is a warning to us as security that he can do worse things than he has done today. It is my first experience that a member who claims to be belonging to the former defunct FDC is interfering in an internal arrangement of another party called the NRM. Now, this makes it difficult for us to manage security during these processes, because the other external force is coming to influence negatively an arrangement of an internal party. He had an altercation with my team, specifically the Assistant RCC for Arua Central, and I think he has also got a bit of a dose of the words that he deserves, but he may have not desired. And I want to warn the rest, even when you are NRM and you want to go and interfere with an internal process of another political party other than NRM, you should not think of that fishing expedition, because you will meet the wrath like this other has met today. Some people want to provoke security to cause an arrest in order to attract public sympathy. I have also asked police leadership not to be invited into that, We want to have it freely. Those who think they can attract violence from police, they have failed today. Those who think they can attract tear gas from police, they have also failed today. This is what we are promising for the people of Arua City. Lastly, I want to request that in Arua, let us not have politics of identity. Let us not have politics of division. What the Swahili people say, politics of ubaguzi. It is wrong, it is barbaric, it is archaic, and it has no place in Arua and Uganda in general. Some of the places where we had to advise cancellation of this process today was because of tribal intonation. We have had it in Pajulu. We have also had it somewhere in Kenya ward. I want to ask the good people of Arua that we have coexisted before elections. We can coexist even better during election times. Because when you elect a leader, you are not electing a tribal chief. You are not electing a clan head. You are electing a chairperson of a cell or a village that will lead you as a village community, but not as a tribal community. Those areas that have been cancelled, the NRM leadership will guide on when a fresh election will be conducted in those areas, and police will lead the other security agencies to support a violent, free NRM processes at a cell level. I thank you.
How many villages missed today that will need to be reorganized?
On record so far, we have registered 13 that have missed. Of all the cells that we have registered in Arua City.
How many in Central and how many in Naive?
About 10 in Central and about 3 in Naive.
What is this disorganization exactly that the Central Division Mayor did?
Of course, he was moving around, soliciting support for his preferred choices, majority of whom are even not on the register. That is the dilemma that we are faced with. He was also going pretending to be monitoring. Now, you are a mayor of a different political party. What are you monitoring in an internal elections of another political party? Can Malone go and begin monitoring an exercise taking place in elections of FDC in Naive? Or can Nyakua go and begin monitoring internal elections of FDC taking place in Arua City? I don't think that would be moral.
How did this affect?
It is not only moral, it is selfish, but also it is an act of witchcraft.
How did it affect the election and its results?
Of course, you know how some of these areas boys were enraged. People were coming from different cells to go and disorganize another cell where they don't even reside. In the end, you find an electoral area which is supposed to be for residents of that area is swarmed by non-residents. And so it concerned security. For me as RCC, I want to promise that there will be no violence during any other political party's elections, and we will intervene. What matters is the lives and properties of the people must be safe. We must practice democracy without violence. We must practice democracy without mobocracy. This is what some of these elements we are trying to import in an internal process of the NRM.
Okay, lastly, we saw many of them coming, especially the MC ones, and the NRM chairperson is coming unopposed. Does it mean NRM is affirming its
Well, probably you can bother to read. NRM as a system also embraces consensus. Consensus is another form of democracy. That if all of us here have agreed that Komakech Salim is your leader, that is democracy. Like you remember, every other time, the NRM conference has always agreed that the president of Uganda is still their leader and nobody is contesting against him. That is consensus. And that consensus has built systems.
Maybe from his actions, is it done with him having done that, or there's an aspect of the law that will bring him for any other thing to do with disciplinary and any other thing related to what he did?
Like I told you, some of these things are done deliberately to invite us to take actions that will attract sympathies on some weak elements. And we are not about to accept that invitation. There are certain things we can ignore, like a missed call.
When the elections for NRM LC1 were done, this is yet internal elections, we saw the Resident City Commissioner, Salim coming openly to accuse you, he named you, that you went into the elections to interfere with the NRM elections, causing, confusion. What is your say about this?
My brother, I want to have this. I don't have problem with my Resident City Commissioner. You have said he has mentioned my name. I don't want to have any comment over his comment. Even Almighty God knows what happened. Even the community knows what happened. I don't want to have that state where people work on fights, on wrangles. We are going to waste time in giving service delivery. Is Salim aware that security is service delivery? It is part of what this government of Uganda is trying to do. Let me have this brief. I got a call on that particular day at 7 a.m. A community member called me on the ground that they have problems here. It is going to escalate on insecurity. You get the point? I knew that was internal NRM primary elections where I am supposed not to interfere. But the fact I am the mayor, head of security, shouldn't deviate from that. When I was given a call, because I knew it was NRM primary election, I have the recordings here. I picked a call. I gave a call to the substantive deputy resident city commissioner, Arua Central Division, with whom I work, because I was following the chain, whom I thought he would inform his boss with the right settlement. I told him there is a problem in prison like this. I have got this. Can you intervene? Because I knew it was particularly still on their line of their primary election. I gave him a call at 6 minutes past 8 a.m. I have the recordings here. I gave him that call. From there, the tension started to escalate. I was even receiving calls from my own former LC1s. I received a call from Awindiri, that is Academy cell. I received a call from Chongolia cell. I received a call from prison cell. I received a call from Lumumba cell. I received a call from club cell. I received a call from Enyao. I received a call from prison cell, not prison, Kebiri cell. I received a call from Borkovku East. I received a call from Baruch. And there was no way, even my honorable councillors were calling me. No security personnel was on the ground. What again I did now, when I saw the tension very much, I engaged the Gisho. I called the OC station. The OC told me there is no fuel, there is no bike. I used my own bike. I carried the OC station. I did not move alone because the stations were coming very hard on ground. I moved to the OC station with the 5 police officers. Gisho was also moving on the other side. We are trying to calm the situations. I will reach there at the station. I will allow the OC to speak to the people. I pushed myself away. Every community member who was there, they knew if I would only say something, I will tell them kindly, let us not cause bloodshed. That is the only word that I will tell them. Let us not cause bloodshed. That is the only thing I will have always tell them. So I don't think there was something. By the way, the Muzaid who was made allegation that he did that might be a different Muzaid. The Muzaid who is the mayor of Central Division, who knows about his people, who is preaching about peace, who is preaching about service delivery, who is preaching about doing the rightest thing, cannot do that. I cannot avoid I cannot misuse my intellectual ability. I cannot misuse my intellectual ability to incite people to fight when these are the same people who voted me. How many NRMs gave me vote? How many FDCs gave me vote? How many NUP gave me vote? Why should I cause havoc when I am head of security? What roles so far have I played in maintaining security in Central Division? How much participation have I done in supporting security issues in Central Division? If it is a different political issue, I don't want to comment on my brother. I treat him as my brother. Those are his statements, but I want to request these offices that we are holding, one day will leave us. Let us make sure we live in a good way. I will one time retrieve to be a mayor. One day he will retrieve to be an RDC. But we must see how tomorrow we are going to get it, when we shall be with the community. So the Muzaid whom you had initiated fights is not this Muzaid you are talking to. Maybe it was a different Muzaid. I want to challenge these around 8 to 10 cells where I have mentioned where there were crises. I want them to do due diligence. The OC is here. The GISO is here. This was the team. The police officers with whom we moved were there. What were my statement? What was my contribution? Contribution I made one was to lead the security team to those places. Some of the places they might even not know. Two, to provide them transport because they were not having it. And I knew that is my part. Should I come and see that my people got beaten and died when I'm there and I see it? These are my own brothers. So I don't want to make a remark over his statement. He is responsible for his statements. I treat him as my brother. I am not worth those fights you hear. The LC5 chairman is fighting with the RDC. The mayor is fighting with the RDC. The politicians have this. I am not worth that. I cannot misuse my intellectual ability to have those fights. They are not going to help us. Security is service delivery.
So in other words, are you saying the security failed in their duty as the head of security?
I want him to challenge me whether that day there was a security helping, apart from the police officers that was moving. I want him to challenge me whether there was security that very day. All the stations I've mentioned, I want him to challenge me. Apart from these officers we picked, we moved with, I want him to challenge me. I want him to challenge me. So let's be objective. You see, when we are making statements in public, let's also keep our reputation. It should not be a matter of just saying anything. So for me, it is not the Muzaid that you hear whom they are talking about. That might be a different mayor. That is not the mayor the people of Ori trusted as the LCT chairman. That is not the mayor the people of Arua Central trusted as the mayor. I don't think that could be the mayor who can do that. No, I'm not that. And I want to appeal to my brother. Let's move slowly. I have worked with very many RDCs. Very many. My late brother, Abriga, may his soul rest, one of the best soft RDCs I've worked with. Was there anybody in Arua who was more NRM than late Abriga? But you could not hear one day I collided with him. Even I remembered there were days, there was NRM day. The money which was given to do the organization was to be given to the sub-counties. He brought the money and he gave it into my hands. I had to call the NRM chairman, Hamza. I descended the money. I told him, I'm not now in NRM, you are the chairman. This is the contribution later Brigade brought. That is the man I worked with as a RDC. I worked with Peter Debel as an RDC. I worked with Oyanaori as an RDC. I worked with Akelo. I worked with this man who is in Parombo now. I worked with Toko. I worked with Echogori, the most finest. You ask all these RDCs, I've worked with them since LC3, whether I have problem. Why should I now go and have problem in LC1 elections where I'm not involved? Yet there are primary elections. So I want to appeal to my brother, let's go slowly. This Uganda is big. Let's go slowly. Let's not step on each other. I'm not there to step on his toes. I'm not there to fight political wars. I'm not there to fight party wars. I am after service delivered to the people of Arua Central Division. I cannot misuse my intellectual ability to have those minor useless wars when I leave service